Let me tell you something. Let me ask you this question. You cited the two members of the 11th Circuit panel, right? And they concurred in the result, but they raised this issue. Is that right?
That's correct.
And the issue they raised, I'm quoting, is, quote, in short, foreclosing removal when states prosecute former federal officers simply for performing their official duties can allow a rogue state's weaponization of the prosecution power to go unchecked and fester, end quote. Is that a correct quotation?
Correct. Yes, sir.
You share that concern, do you not?
Absolutely.
Could you just describe a little bit, I mean, we've discussed it at some length here, but as we take up this legislation, at the heart of it lies the question that was going on here in the exchange between, I think, the ranking member and Professor Besky and some others about the job and the nature of the job. And so if you're in the case of your client, the chief of staff to the President of the United States, and the President of the United States asks you to set up a call, and there is the inherent blend between official and political in what we do, right? And so something is, something we seem as official, you're the chief of staff, you're working through it, and then there's some political questions that come up. So how is it that we can proceed if we don't have clarity with respect to the actual job, with respect to how you were describing that earlier? Could you expand on that a little bit?
Well, I would submit to you, Mr. Roy, that there is absolute clarity in terms of that job. In 1939, Congress passed a statute and said, okay, we're authorizing assistants to the president. Never existed before. Before that, they had always been borrowed from agencies and brought into the White House. Presidential assistants were authorized by Congress, and Congress said their duties shall, quote, be as prescribed by the president. So when the president asks you to make a phone call, you're acting within the scope of your office.